Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for watching the Brand New Media show today. I have with me Candia Ludy. She's a meditation instructor. She's been on the show once before. So if you want to look at that show, it will be down in the description box below. And she's going to teach us on how to meditate. Improving mindfulness is about understanding yourself and being in the moment. Welcome, Candia.
Hello. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad to be back.
Well, great. I know that you've been like all over the world.
Well, I'll tell you, I've been to the West Coast for the last 6 months, and that feels like another world.
Oh,
Certainly a less humid world
okay.
than us here in Memphis. But I'm really happy today to talk more about meditation. And I know there's been some questions, so I'll try to incorporate them in as I'm discussing it. But at its root, fundamentally, meditation is about staying present. It's about allowing your senses to be active and to be seeing what you're seeing, hearing what you're hearing, smelling what you want, what's smelling, and feeling. Mindful, present, and aware of your surroundings and also your thoughts. What isn't meditation, which is probably a good thing to start out with here,
Okay.
is when we're caught in thoughts and we don't even notice our body. We don't notice the room. We're not hearing perhaps what people are saying. We're just thinking. And it's such a strong thought that we've forgotten we're in our body, wherever that body is. So in a nutshell, that's really the difference. Now, what meditation does is help us over time be able to train our minds, and everyone can do it, to be able to stay present, to be able to lay aside thoughts, and to pick them up.
We always need to stay in the present. Is that right?
Yes, as much as possible, for a very simple reason. Our life only happens in the present moment. Past and future don't really exist, except us thinking about them and making plans and things like that. But the only part of our life that truly exists is the present moment. And so we have habit patterns of being distracted, of watching, media, of all types of media, thinking a lot, engaging in talking and other activities, which of course we all do and we want to do, and we should. But we need to take a time to rest the mind, just like we sleep. And meditation, as much as we eat for our bodies, meditation is food for the mind. It allows them.
Say that one more time.
I'll be happy to.
Meditation is
food for the mind.
Good. Thank you.
It's the best kind of food. It's like organic and, no trans fats and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It is. At first, it's a little odd, like anything that's new. But if you just hang in there and keep doing it, and I know one of your listeners asked, are 5 or 10 minute meditation sessions done frequently?
Okay.
Is that good? And yes, actually it is. It's a great way to start. It's really recommended by many meditation instructors and teachers that you do start with short 5 to 10 minute sessions, done more frequently.
Frequently, okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And even if you can't do them frequently, regularly, in the morning or the evening. But yes, you're building a pattern, a good, healthy pattern. It's like we change when we begin to eat differently, add more salads and fruit and things like that. Then we start to enjoy it after a while and we want it. And meditation can be the same way.
Okay.
But 5 to 10 minute sessions, great idea. So you sit down on a cushion chair, bench outside, cross-legged, feet down on the floor, what works for your body. Sit down and sit up straight. The posture is it's opening up your chest and your back. You can breathe deeply, and you want to. And if you're a chest breather or a little anxious, sometimes you can just put your hand on your stomach and just feel the breath going in and invite it, you might say, to come on down and let your chest expand in your stomach. Mm-hmm. Deep breathing, it oxygenates us, it relaxes us, it tells our brain that there's no reason to be anxious. So I always start, I sit down, and for me, because I've been doing it 3 breaths and I'm in my body and I'm in the room, because I've got a habit pattern of that. But if you need to, breathe a little more. And just every breath, feel your body, feel your mind and body together, the chair, whatever you're seated on. Take a moment to feel your body. And then sometimes I do a fast kind of scan, starting my head and going down. If I feel a place, like my shoulders, that's tense, I will just take a moment and relax it. And with a few breaths, each one relax and relax a little more. And this is not even moving to meditation. It's just getting ready.
Okay.
I also, yes.
Matt, I want the audience.
The conversation.
I want the audience to know, please make sure you watch the whole show, because we will have a meditation section. Okay. Mm-hmm. We want you to get ready and get prepared for the meditation section. It's going to be really great.
We're going straight into it.
Okay.
So if we're seated together, hopefully everyone's out there seated with us, and eyes open or closed, whatever is most comfortable for you.
Are we ready now for the meditation section, or you want to do it now or later?
Well, I'm just going to describe it for people, and then we could begin. Okay. How's that sound?
That sounds good.
All right. So you would sit, and you would sit up straight, and you would try to relax your body, and especially your chest, and breathe in deeply. Eyes are open or closed, and you're just going to look relaxed, kind of out in front of you and a little bit down. And then if you need to, just keep, breathing until you feel yourself in your body. The breath is the best gauge to know whether you're meditating or just sitting there thinking.
So we inhale.
Inhale. And you're inhaling. Exhale. And you're exhaling. Just a little bit of mindfulness, a little bit of noticing that you're breathing. You're in your body and you're breathing. That's the way when you start thinking, and we all do, so much that you've forgotten, you just come back to the breath. Come back to noticing your breathing. You're sitting there and you notice your breathing. And if little thoughts come up, fine, let them be. If they're so big that you've forgotten you're sitting there breathing, then you might just name them thinking and come back to your breath. That is it for meditation. That's how it's done. So why don't we try? Let me get my timer here. Let's give it 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Then I'll talk a little bit more, but I'd like the idea of back and forth because we don't
Get
have
ready,
that
everybody.
long.
Get ready, everybody. This is 5-minute section. Okay. You tell us what to do.
This is 5 minutes if I can find my timer.
And then I also have a couple of questions someone want me to ask you, but I'll ask you later on in the show.
Oh, sounds wonderful. And I just found my timer. So here we go.
Okay. Tell us what to
Breathe
do.
deep, relax, and notice your breathing in the room. Oh, 5 minutes. And here we are. Type of meditation is called calm abiding or resting the mind. Both of these are healthy and ways of making us more comfortable in our life, in our body, and with ourselves. It's important as we are moving back into a busier and busier life that we take time to let both our body and our mind rest. And this sitting like we're doing now, relaxed, breathing deeply, is a way of slowing down and of regenerating our inner energies and strengths. If you find yourself thinking in patterns that cause you to lose energy or to feel in ways that are harmful or sad or energy removing, it can be helpful to think about ways to strengthen compassion for yourself and for others and for situations you find yourself in or that you see going on around you. In meditation, you're going to notice your thought patterns. You're going to see what keeps coming up over and over again. But we're not pushing anything away. It can arise, but we're not following it. We're not being dragged along or just trotting after it. We're staying in our seat, breathing in the room we're in, or outside, or wherever you are in meditation. But again, if thoughts are coming up that are, I hate to use the word harmful, but they're not like the best of thoughts, or they're repetitive. One way is to think to offer affirmations, ones that work with you. Ones I use are, may all beings be happy. May all beings be free from suffering. May things go well. May people and all beings, animals, insects, everything, the planet, may it have what it needs. It's okay in a meditation center if you find repetitive thoughts that are energy stealers, to pause for a moment and think affirmative, positive thoughts, such as, may all beings be happy. And let that break the pattern for a moment and then come back to your breath. Patience, loving kindness, generosity, These are all states of our mind that we all have, and they can be strengthened. They can be allowed to grow much stronger in us all because they are natural. They're just often not exercised. And before and after a meditation center like session like we're having now would be a good time to take a minute or two and think these affirming positive thoughts about ourselves and about all others. So let's just breathe in and out and sit for a few more minutes. Not thinking, or if you need to, then think of something like, may all beings be happy. Time us again. Brenda,
I am so relaxed.
I can see it in your face. I can see it in your face, but I know you said people had some questions, so I didn't want to go on too long.
Yes.
I can talk a little bit about patience if you like.
Let's talk about patience.
Patience is best cultivated in small amounts, meaning if we can just hold off on reacting for even a few moments in the beginning, that's the start. Patience is just like lifting weights. You know, you start with a small amount and a few reps, and then you get stronger and stronger, and you can add more and you can add more and you can go longer. It's the same way. All of these things are.
Mhm.
It definitely is a muscle that can be strengthened. And the other thing that I have found is that if I can step back for a moment and really look at the object of my irritation and the reason I need to practice patience, if I can look at them carefully, kind of with my heart and not my head, more often than not, I see what's triggering them, or I see the pattern in them that is in me too. And that helps to generate patience. Walking away too, before you lose your patience. But I've often found if I look carefully at people, I see their pain. I see why they're acting like that. And it doesn't mean I agree with it or that I'm going to put up with it, but it does change how I feel about them inside. And I am able to have a little more patience. So that's one way, is to exchange self for other, to try to see why are they acting like this. It's usually coming out of pain, one form or another.
Mhm.
But patience is just, it's kind of like meditation. Give it 5 or 10 minutes several times a day, and it will get stronger and stronger. You have more questions that
When I was having my meditation section a moment ago, these patterns kept coming to my mind. And when I start just letting it go and within my mind saying, let all men be happy. Let all men be happy. And I kept repeating that. I kept repeating that in my mind. And then that thought pattern left.
Yes, you broke it up. You gave it. You just, yeah, with a thought that is, really wonderful. A compassionate, kind, loving thought. Those kinds of thoughts actually are healing. I mean, they're even seeing it scientifically.
Mm-hmm.
Thought patterns do matter. And so even sometimes when it feels, and you're naturally this kind of a person. So, those thoughts, when you say may all beings be happy, it's easy because you feel that way.
Right.
Right. But even if you don't, just to say it helps. Because I know all sorts of people listen, with different things going on in their life.
Candy, I want to do something. Also, I want to reach out to more audience. So what I'm going to try to do is put it on Facebook and see if anyone have any other special questions for you. I'm going to do that right now. If you have a little time, you have a little time.
I do. I have time. And if you like,
hopefully
I'll just.
This will help someone.
Well, it sounds wonderful, and I'll be glad to keep talking so we don't have what they used to call dead air space.
Right.
While you're checking and looking for questions, but just, come in whenever you have one.
Okay, let's see if anybody's gonna tune in. Um,
I'm
I'm
trying
coming to you live with the Brand New Media Show, and I would like for my Facebook friends to participate. I have Candia Ludy, a meditation instructor. She's been all over the world, and I'm going to upload this today for the YouTube Brand New Media Show. And I would like for my Facebook friends to participate. So I decide to go live. And if you have any questions, I don't know if anybody is on Facebook right now, or even if we get any questions, but it will help you. If you have any questions for Candia, please put the question up and I will ask her. So far, we have no one tuning in, but
Well,
the
they're
section,
probably all driving home.
but the section is great. It takes a moment before the
Oh,
signal
sure.
goes out for Facebook, but I want to know
Yes.
when you have negative thoughts
Mm-hmm.
on your mind, you can remove those negative thoughts by putting something positive on your mind. Is that right, Candia?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's one
So,
of the ways, yes.
okay. So we want
You can,
them to understand. We want to make sure they understand how to get rid of the negative thoughts. We hope this show helps you in some kind of way.
yes. And one way to look at it, if it helps, is to think about transforming. You're transforming these thought patterns.
Mm-hmm.
That one is this practicing of coming back to your breath. You know you're breathing. You're in a room. When those thought patterns come up, then just come back to breathing in the room. And that is training the mind to cut these repetitive, particularly negative thoughts. Because really, if we're having wonderful thoughts and everything is great, it is not too much of a need to stop those. So that's one way. And then another is to replace, to break it up by saying, may all beings be happy.
May all beings be happy.
May they indeed. If they're really repetitive, I find using my 5 senses breaks up thinking. Look around the room and look really carefully at everything. Listen to the beginning, the middle, and the end of a sound. Go outside and listen for birds or cicadas. That if you really get your senses involved, that cuts repetitive thought patterns. So that's a good way. Ground yourself. Stand up and feel your feet on the ground.
Listen. What about music? I love music. What about listening to music?
Well, you need to be careful there. What those if they have lyrics, what are they?
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. So if it's music without lyrics, well, then we don't, that's. But if there's lyrics, we need to be careful of what they are, because in this case we're trying to uplift and strengthen. So
instrumental music
or music with lyrics that are uplifting.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for telling us that. Coming to you live. If you have any questions for Candia Ludy, she's a meditation specialist here in Memphis, Tennessee. If you have any questions for her, I decide to let my Facebook friend participate. I will upload this show on YouTube today. So if you have any questions for her, please write them here and I will ask her the question. I know in today's society it's so much stress going on, and we hope this show will help someone, make a major impact in your life. And I really want to thank Candia for her time out of her schedule to do this for us. So write your questions down. If you have any questions for Candia, she will answer them for you.
I'd be happy.
This is a free section. This is free for you. We had a meditation section. So ask your question. Ask your question now if you have any questions for her. Okay.
And I would also add, while we're discussing it, the other media should be added in. Too much news, too much problems, trauma, troubles, and negative view coming into your mind is not going to help your state of mind. And I don't mean that we should just cut off any information and all news at all. Yeah, we have to know what's going on. But the shows we watch, the music we listen to, the people sometimes that we talk to, because people can be energy stealers too. You know, too much negative attitude, too much complaining, too much. And before you know it, you've just been whacked.
Stay away from a lot of negativism. Try to be around more positive people, more positive things in your life.
Yeah. And take the time to enjoy the outdoors. Other people's gardens. If we don't have one, I enjoy other people's more than mine because I don't have to do anything with theirs.
I love nature.
I love nature too. And nature is very, very healing and can give you a lot of energy. Also, by being really paying attention to everything around you when you're out like walking. It's hard to think a whole lot when you're paying close attention with your eyes and your ears. And you're noticing where you're walking and you're feeling the wind on you. That's taken up a lot of mental space, which is good. So those
Ask your question. Facebook Live. I'm with Candia Ludy. She's a meditation specialist. If you have any questions for her, I want my Facebook friend to participate. So please ask your question. Coming to you live for the Brand New Media Show.
Yeah.
If you have any questions, please ask them right now. She will answer your question for you.
It's true. Hopefully I've answered the questions earlier on patience. And yes, it's fine to have many short, in fact, it's a good idea to have many short meditation sessions. It's also a good idea when you're in situations is to just take a deep breath in and let it out and come right back into your body and be present in the room.
So if you feel frustrated, if you feel all stressed out, just stop it. No argument, no consultation. Just stop.
Just come right back into your body and into the room.
And what you do, you inhale. Exhale.
Exhale it out deeply.
Yeah.
Exhale and relax your shoulders and stand up straight and be present. Just be right there in that situation, whatever it is. And again, if we're making the situation up ourselves, you know, because we're thinking a lot about something, you can do it. And that'll cut that stream of thoughts. But if you're with other people and you're feeling yourself starting to get kind of nervous and your mind starting to twirl around a little bit, and that's when you want to just feel your feet on the ground, straighten up and come back in your body. Take a deep breath and be right there in that situation, present. And you know something? When you meet someone eye to eye and your heart and your mind is right there, then you're not thinking about something else. That's so rare for people, and they appreciate it. They feel like they're being heard. I mean, they are being heard, but they also feel like it. And right there, you immediately have changed all the dynamics of the situation. Yeah.
So you hear that, my viewers, you hear that. There might be someone today that's watching this show that's in that situation. And we hope that you take all of these techniques, what Candia has taught us, what she has told us today on how to handle the situation. It will make this world a better place to live.
Really stressful. And make each of the people listening's lives a better place to live. Their bodies and their life a better place to be in. We are alive, and as long as we are alive, we want it to be the best we can. And quite truthfully, a lot of people's suffering is mental. It's not physical. And that's the only thing we can really kind of get a handle on and do something about. So much we can't. But the mental patterns slowly with some, it's not work, it's
Mhm.
work, but
Mhm.
we can do it.
We can do it.
We can do it.
Do it. Let's see. I only have like one person participating, but
That's cool.
they don't have
More
any
will
questions.
participate later. You know that.
Later,
They're
everybody's
going to
at
all
work.
hear it later and go, oh, it's only.
They're at work right now. Let's see.
Sure, or they're driving home.
Oh,
And
they're
they
driving
shouldn't be
home.
online.
Not online right now.
Not online driving home.
Yeah, but it's been great, Candia.
Thank you for asking me.
I want to thank you. I want to thank you as always for coming on the show, teaching us about meditation. It's so very important. It's so very important for the mind and, like you said, our body. And
Yeah.
you will be back on. You
Sure.
will be
I
back
love
on.
it when you contact me. I'm happy to. Anytime.
So
Thank you so much.
thank you so much. And I want to thank my Facebook friends. I'm going to finish this right now with you. Thank you guys. Okay. So I cut that one off. Oh, let me make sure that I got this other person's questions. Hold just one moment.
Oh,
Just
sure.
a moment.
Sure.
I want to make sure I get everyone. Oh, okay. Jackie has a question.
Mm-hmm.
When the mind wanders, can we gently bring it back to focus instead of getting frustrated? I believe you already answered that, though.
And the answer is a resounding yes. That's exactly what we do. And gently is the best way to do it. Just be back in your body. Feel yourself breathing. Know you're breathing. There you are, back. So yes, and indeed, that's the best thing to do over the day. Just instant meditation would be meditation on the spot, which is when you feel yourself getting frustrated and flustered, and that kind of spin starts, where you're not settled, then
Okay.
that's the time. Just feel your body, take a breath, and you're back. Just be there, just in your body.
In your body.
In
Okay.
your body, mind and body together in the present moment. That's the key.
All right. Thank you.
You are welcome.
Belinda has a question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Slowly one stops going to extreme like Andic flight and prefers a middle path, right?
Yes. Yes. The middle way, not to extremes, but the middle is very wide and deep. There's a lot in that middle when we're not way and we're not down low.
So the middle path is the one that carries a lot of loads, right? The middle path.
Yes. It's the one that is it has the depth. Right. Just present, ready to deal with whatever comes up, and is slowly working on these parts that will make your life better. The patience, like we talked about earlier, all these spontaneous, wonderful parts of ourselves that really are there. Mindfulness, awareness, this being able to think of others, putting them first.
Okay.
In our minds, we start with our minds. This is that idea. You see a group of people, you immediately think, may you be happy. You see a flock of birds, may you find a place to rest and enough grain to eat tonight. You got another question?
That's what I was checking.
Okay.
To see.
We can train mind patterns slowly. We can strengthen these parts in ourselves. We can weaken the ones that make us unhappy and uncomfortable. It takes a while. It's our whole life. It'll never, ever keep. This thing, we can just keep going and keep going. It'll just get deeper and better. And yeah. And then, sort of a side effect is our life's a lot easier, more relaxed. We're able to just let things go and roll with what's going on and speak our mind when we need to, but not have to carry around a whole bunch of baggage and stuff that we'd just like to not have.
Candia, do we need to, let me ask you this. If something
Sure.
is on our mind about someone, do we need to talk it out with that person or keep it within ourselves, or do we need to just let it go?
It depends. It really depends. But I think we always need to give a little space if it's something that's a little explosive or could cause harm to ourselves or others, small or large. We need to honor our own views and who we are, especially women. We really do need to be strong.
Okay.
But at the same time, this idea of compassion doesn't mean you're a doormat. It just means that you are able to see that other person's point of view, even if you don't agree with it, and you're not going to do it.
Okay.
But it is, you're not making an enemy. You're just saying we're different. That you are, you still can feel compassion for the people or the situation. It's got a warmth and a gentleness about it. Still got some firm spine going though, especially us women.
Mm-hmm.
But there isn't that anger, and there isn't making an enemy and creating an other. There's a sense of together. And then sometimes you can find ways to explore what the problems and the differences are. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes you just got to walk away.
You got to walk away. A lot of marriage couples might be having a fight out there today. They might be having a fight today. So they watch this show. They need to stop it, relax, and take a deep breath.
Take a deep breath, and maybe you need to give each other a little bit of time. Because particularly if you're married and you want the relationship to go on, then you're going to have to find some heart in there, particularly if you're working with differences. That's where that compassion comes up.
We all have differences, right?
Of course. Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. It's how we work with it. And then when we come to a resolution, can we let go of it?
That's the problem,
things
right?
Come up from a long time ago, and I just have to say, well, I don't think we need to be, talking to you anymore. I sometimes talk to myself in my mind.
Okay. Is it good to talk to yourself in your mind?
I think so. I think if it's positive, I think it's affirming. I also find it useful to name what's going on.
To do what now?
To say to myself sometimes, well, Candia, you've thought about that in the past and you've come to some understandings about it. It doesn't need to come up again. And I say it as friendly and kind as I can.
Okay.
And somehow it seems like my kind of fearful mind will hear. I like to think of it as wisdom mind can talk to the fearful mind, the confused mind. We're both at the same time. It's kind of like mother and child together. We're comforting and understanding, but we have boundaries. And we can do it with ourselves too, particularly negative thoughts or thoughts that are repetitive that I think of energy stealers. Yeah.
Energy stealers.
So a loving kindness to ourselves, gentleness, compassion, forgiveness, and still a sense of remorse and exertion. It's like, yeah, I did that, and I wish I hadn't, and I don't plan to do it again. But then I, can let go of that. I don't have to bring it back up and feel guilty or anything like that either. I have now resolved the matter.
So, Candia, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm not going to hold any more of your time. Thank you so very much. And we hope this show will help someone today.
Oh, yes.
Thank you very much.
Most definitely.
And
that is my wish.
If you enjoyed this show, please hit like. We love comments. And please subscribe to Brand New Media Show. As
Yes.
always, thank you very much. Good night, everyone.